Truett-Hurst is a super premium and ultra premium wine company based in Dry Creek Valley and Sonoma Valley in Northern California. And we're looking to change the way that people buy wine through innovative packaging, the way that we take our wines to market, and the way that we grow our grapes. So we like to think we're a really disruptive company. What does that mean? Well, for us, that means doing things differently. It's a very traditional industry. Things have been done the same way for a lot of years, and we're trying to change that.
What impressed me most about Truett-Hurst was the management team. Having invested in much larger companies all over the world, I was struck by the fact that between Paul Dillon and Phil Hurst and their long experience in making great wine and selling wine and building a great wine brand, the winemaking capabilities of Ginny Lambrix and the capabilities of Kevin Shaw, who's a world-class brand designer in the spirits business, it struck me that you had the management team of a much larger company in a young, fast-growing California company.
You know, we're really gonna explore. We're gonna kind of bust this thing open, and we're gonna look at design and packaging and from a totally different perspective.
The wine business is notoriously slow for that. We're still using the same bottles that were used by the Italians 500 years ago with the corks that were rammed in by the French 300 years ago. So there's a great potential to capture the public's imagination with formats that are perhaps interesting, products that are slightly more unusual.
I have to confess, when I first started, I was a bit of a wine snob. What makes me really tick now is the challenge of making these wines taste like much more expensive wines and yet being affordable.
Our customer base is very broad. We kind of have three primary channels of distribution. So direct to consumer via our two beautiful tasting rooms in Sonoma County, through traditional three-tier brands that are sold via distributors around the country, and through private labels that we develop directly with the big retailers around the country.
My role as the CFO of the company is to ensure that we maximize the resources that are available to us and that we are successful in generating cash to finance our growth and optimize margins.
And I think that the consumer's changing. For me, so I'm just excited about what it is that I see that we can do or that the industry's doing, and I've been very involved in kind of helping the industry see that that's a possibility for us to kind of get out of our own way and watch the trends that consumers are demonstrating, retailers are demonstrating. Consumers are much more discovery oriented, and it just seems like it'd be so much fun to create something that for them that would not be what they would expect.
I think one of the unusual things about Phil Hurst, clearly most people see his sales ability, which he's demonstrated at the company he founded and now at Truett-Hurst. I've also found Phil to be a very astute business guy. And by that I mean he develops a product in conjunction with these retailers, and he knows the costing of the product, and he's able to negotiate the kinds of pricing before they produce the wine, such that Truett-Hurst has an acceptable margin going into the product. The retailer finds it attractive and that they'll also be benefiting from the margins. Then he goes to produce the product. That's far different than other wineries that already have a product and are forced to sell it.
So through this offering, we're allowing people to be part of what we think is one of the most exciting wine companies ever. And everybody from our wine club members to professional investors are going to get a chance to come together and really change the industry, change the way that people buy wine.